Hi, my name is Jessica and I have no idea what I'm doing. Today I'm going to be giving you part 3 of the Stye Chalazion MGD saga. So the last time I came to talk to you, it was quite a while ago. It was I think the middle of July, and I was telling you how I was aggressively treating my issue, but non-invasively. So being aggressive with the non-invasive treatments, coming at it from all angles, doing the Omega3, doing the blue light glasses, doing the compresses, doing the ointment, trying to eat better, just trying to do everything that I could from a non-invasive standpoint to make it better. At the time, I think I told you I was going up to 2 Omega3 pills a day or something like that with no issues. That did not last long, unfortunately. You know, I have stomach issues, I have just issues in general, and I didn't realize that these things were connected at the time, but I started having a really bad sore throat, and I started having very bad stomach pain, and I had diarrhea and nausea, and I figured it was the pills, so I lowered the dosage after speaking to my doctor. And I was upset about it because, you know, I'm trying to do something good for my eye, and of course it was making me feel sick otherwise. But the sore throat remained, and so did this like very awful stomach pain, and different from my usual IBS stomach pain. This was higher up, like at the top of my stomach, and not that IBS pain isn't intense, but this was just a different kind of intensity, and all I could do was like curl up and cry. It was bad. But before that happened, it was mainly the throat. So I had gone to urgent care, and, you know, they tested me for everything, for COVID, for strep, etc. And the doctor said, you know, I see some postnasal drip in your throat, like allergies. You should, you know, maybe take Sudafed and Flonase. And he asked me about acid reflux. And I said, no, I don't have acid reflux. I never have. I have IBS. Everything is generally out the other direction. And he said, okay, you should try the, you know, the allergy medication. So I tried the allergy medication. Things were not getting better. And like I said, things were getting worse. The stomach issues came along with it. And it turned out that the Omega-3 was causing me to have acid reflux. I feel terrible for anyone who deals with that on a daily chronic basis. That was awful. It was so bad. Anytime I ate anything, it would happen. Sometimes even when I didn't eat anything. And I spoke to my doctor about it, and, you know, of course she told me to stop taking the Omega altogether. And I was very, very, very upset because, you know, I'm trying to do this thing to take care of my eye, and now I was in a situation where anything I ate, I felt so sick and in pain, and, you know, I was used to that years ago with the IBS, but now that I have that more under control, better under control, I felt like I was just taking so many steps backwards, and I didn't know when it was going to stop, and all of it was just very, very disheartening. By the way, the good news during this period, I know I had mentioned stress from like my guinea pig being sick. We did get that tested and taken care of as well as we could. And he's doing well, thank God. He does have a chronic eye issue, like me. But yeah, he thankfully it was not a life-threatening thing like we thought it was. And he survived risky testing, and he is still with us. He is old and he is sick, but he is with us, and so is his brother, who also has chronic health issues. Don't come to this house. We all have problems here. But anyway, just as I did finally start recovering from the acid reflux, like I said, it lasted longer than when I stopped taking the Omega-3. It lasted maybe 2+ weeks afterwards. Thankfully it did stop. But I had started taking Tums to try to mitigate it. It kind of worked, it kind of didn't. But I also didn't want to take too many because I didn't want to cause problems with my stomach in a different way. It was a mess. This summer was awful. It was a mess. Between the guinea pig health issues, my health issues, it was a mess. So wait, it gets better, which means it gets worse. Then what happened was I got COVID. How? I don't know. Everyone was saying like, oh, the new wave was coming out. Granted, I did go out a few places to, you know, try to enjoy something of the summer. And of course, I come back with COVID. The first time I had COVID, which was a couple years ago, wasn't too bad. My family, unfortunately, suffered a lot more than I did. They're all okay now, but at the time, it was rough for them. I was pretty okay. This time, thankfully, none of them caught it, but I went through it. I had a bingo card with all the symptoms. Check, check, check. It was so bad. It was terrible. It knocked me out for a couple weeks. And then, of course, this was like in August when I'm a teacher. So I had to go back to work soon. I was trying to like prepare the class. It was a time. Okay. The only 3 symptoms I didn't have were vomiting, thank God, the cough, and difficulty breathing, which I guess that's good, but the headache was something else. The diarrhea was something else. Okay. That one got like 3 checks on my bingo card. It was awful. So I just went from one thing to the next, and all of this stress, of course, not good for my eye. But what I think caused the next flare up in my eye was the COVID. Maybe it was just going to do it anyway, but I think the COVID, that virus being in my body, I think that's what made it flare again. So that same one on this side, that right now, you know, I look pretty good. You can definitely still see where the first old one is, and then this newer one. You can definitely see them, but I look a lot better than I did. So there I am, barely able to move, get out of bed. I eventually pushed myself out of bed and went to my eye doctor, and he said, you made a good choice. This has to be lanced, of course. So this time the lancing was from the inside with a needle. This was my 3rd one. I've done it a couple different ways. And he said because of the location of this one, I'll show you a picture. He said that this was going to hurt, but actually it wasn't that bad. Thankfully, I did feel, of course, the needle going into it, even though, you know, they give you the numbing drops, but it wasn't that bad. And it did, you know, it did its thing. It drained, pus, whatever. Disgusting. I hate it so much. And it was improving. So I thought, okay, we're on the right track yet again, right? No. So about a month into the school year, this was like the end of September, all of a sudden I could feel it getting like a larger and tender, and this whole year has been so frustrating and upsetting with all of this. So it was doing its thing again, flaring again, and I said, nope, I'm going. Let's get this lanced. Let's go. I don't want it here. I was so upset. But this time, when I went to get it lanced, my doctor said this one was not lanceable. And it's the same one, it just, however it comes back, it depends on whether it's able to be lanced or not. And, you know, of course, devastated. And my doctor's telling me, like, it's time, like, to get evaluated for surgery. So, you know, just more upset all the way around. He said to, you know, think about it. Maybe it'll go away, but chances are it won't. So call the surgeon after a month, go for an appointment, see what he says, and then take it from there. So I hadn't called yet. And surprisingly, over the next week, it actually, I hate this so much, but you guys, if you're going through the same thing, you want the information. It came to its head. It was large and disgusting and painful, and I'll show you the pictures. I was wearing glasses at work to like protect it, and so the kids didn't see it. If they're watching now, they know what it looks like. But yeah, it's so upsetting to me, and I was in pain, and I didn't want anything to, of course, get into it because it was opening and it was terrible. But it did open, and a lot of pus and gross came out, which is good, and it did that on its own without having to be lanced. I was surprised. My doctor was surprised. We were all happily surprised that this was going on. And it took some time to, you know, kind of drain out and get smaller. Several weeks, and I was still, like, say that happened one week, and then the following week there was still pus coming out. It was, I don't know, it was a monster. And even like a week or two after that, there was still like little white, like dots, and then they would come out. But then it did have a white dot for a while that was like harder, and like it wasn't coming out. So, I still don't really know what that was, but it is gone by now. I can show you pictures of that too. However, I had made the appointment to see the surgeon for an evaluation because I am just so tired of all of this. But I flip back and forth. I get super terrified of surgery, then I get super tired of this thing affecting my life, and then I get afraid of surgery, and it's constant anxiety and worry about this thing. And I know there are so many worse things out there, but this has taken a toll on me, and I've realized that I'm much more vain than I ever thought I was. It's the truth. I believe in honesty, I believe in being truthful, and there's nothing I can do about it. The truth is that I am unfortunately quite vain. And, you know, I get very upset when I don't like how it looks. And I miss my makeup terribly. And I wish I didn't. I wish I didn't care. But it's such, apparently, an important part of my life. Something that was fun and, you know, a coping mechanism that I feel not lost without it. I feel like that sounds dramatic, but like a piece of me is missing, you know? And of course, you know, that would help me feel better about how I look. So I made the appointment, and it was supposed to be for the beginning of November. And then it got canceled somehow with like the doctor, I don't know. And I was like ready. I was like ready to go. And then, you know, having more time to think about it and it improving, I'm like, no, I don't think I'm so ready now. In the meantime, I had given up on the compresses. I gave up on the ointment. I didn't put makeup on, but I gave up on the blue light glasses. I just got very frustrated and tired and didn't know if anything was really making a difference. And it was time consuming too, and I have a lot of work to do this year with, you know, teaching, and every year I get more work and I'm, you know, going up the ranks, and it was just a lot, and I was kind of over it. I was kind of done. So I stopped. Nothing bad happened. I don't recommend you do that, but nothing bad happened. Yesterday, you're seeing this, well, I don't know when you're going to see this video, but I'm filming this Thanksgiving morning. Yesterday, I had the appointment with the surgeon for the evaluation. And, you know, super nervous, not sure what I was going to do about it, etc., etc. And the doctor was super nice. Thank you to my ophthalmologist who recommended him. A good fit for me and my, you know, I need the bedside manner. Very, 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 very anxious patient. And, you know, he talked about it with me. I told him everything that I've been through. And apparently he has the same issue, which definitely made me feel more comfortable. But he said, unfortunately, once he turned 30, and I'm 28 and a half, this started when I was like 28, he said he gets like 2 to 3 of these like flares a year. So that wasn't very promising. But the thing is, this condition is very hard to predict. Like what's going to happen, when, for how long, how's it going to go. So that could be my life. Maybe it won't be. We don't really know right now. What we do know is that the surgeon told me I am not in that surgery realm right now. That's not for me right now. That's for when we've exhausted some more options, when it gets pretty severe. He said, you know, you may not feel like it, but this is actually pretty good. which I understand what he's saying. He said, of course, we could try just continuing to go back to the compresses. He told me a different way to do it. He wants me to use a hot wash rag instead of the brooder masks, but to continue the brooder cleanser. That I did keep using this entire time at night. And he wants me to heat up the cloth and then keep it near my face until it's cool enough to actually put on my face. And also to do both eyes, do that twice a day. That's what he does. To basically try to keep them at bay before they start and then catch them early. Because the earlier you catch them, the more likely it is that they will resolve on their own, go away faster, etc. So I'm going to try that. So I'm going back to compresses. I am keeping the brooder spray. And another suggestion he gave me was to try the steroid injection, which I decided not to do right now. But if this flares again, I will. You know, I had a lot of questions and concerns about all of these options, and he answered all of them. And the concerns, you know, different concerns I was worried about that I saw on Google, you know, giant cysts and eyelashes turning the wrong way and scarring and loss of vision and all these things, right? That he said there are 2 different types of steroids, and he uses the safer one. So, you know, those concerns really weren't, like those things wouldn't happen if we were to do it. But what he did say is that we would be friends before the injection. We would be friends after the injection, but not during. He said the pain is about, it's only a few seconds, but he said it's like a 5 or 6 out of 10. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm really hoping that we don't get to that point, but at least I don't have to go for surgery, which was the biggest fear. I almost went through with the steroid shot, but we decided on a different option instead. What we've decided on is I'm going to go back to the compresses, keep the brooder spray, and go back to putting makeup on. He doesn't think there's much of a link between the two, and you know, he knows it makes me really happy and I look pretty good right now. So he gave me the go-ahead to start putting makeup on again. So I'm going to do that for the first time today for 6 months. I feel like, am I going to remember what to do? I don't know. I am excited, but also very nervous. And I'm doing this with the understanding that if it does flare up again, I'm going for the steroid injection. And we'll take it from there. So that's the update. That's what's been going on. It's been very, very, very difficult and upsetting. Like I said, I know there are so many people out there who have it worse, even with this very condition. But this has been really, really hard on me this year. And I really just hope that next year is better. And that if this isn't the end of this, at least I get better at dealing with it, both physically and mentally. So I'm wishing everyone out there a very happy Thanksgiving. I hope you're doing well. I hope whatever struggles you have, you are pulling through them, and I hope it gets better for you soon if it hasn't been for a while, like myself and like some close friends and family members. Wish me luck. I'll keep you posted. Hopefully I'll be around here more often, but between, you know, the eye issue and just so much work that I have to do, it's been, you see that I have barely been here. I give everyone who does like a full-time job and this, I give them a lot of credit. I don't know how they find the time to do it. So here we go. I just can't stop looking at it. I know this isn't, you know, my best work, but it's been a long time, and whether I want to be vain or not, this is what I enjoy, and it's nice to be able to at least try to get back to it, and then whatever happens from here, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. All right, that's it for today. I hope you have a good day no matter what it is you're doing. Bye. See you next time. And happy Thanksgiving.